Jay, your thoughts on the deal that the Houston Rockets made yesterday. Are they better or worse than they were a day ago?
I still think it's to be determined. To be determined. And let's state some facts first off. Tillman Fertitta is involved in a cost-cutting venture, okay? He does not want to go over the luxury tax, XA. So if you don't do that, then in essence, you strap Daryl Morey. He has to make it work within the margins. I still think this team should have stayed set. I like Clint Capela. I think Eric Gordon has been playing the way he should have been playing as of last year. But look, we talk about a team 2 years in a row. They've been right there, Stephen A. Smith. They've been right there. So now you bring in Robert Covington, who's 6'7", a versatile wing who can defend. I still think you can go on the buyout market and get a guy like a Tristan Thompson who can help you in the interior defense, but they ain't winning. Well, they're not winning the Western Conference.
Well, from what I hear, the Houston Rockets definitely are not finished. They might have lost a mobile big, but they expect to they expect to acquire one before tomorrow's trading deadline expires. We'll talk to Woj about that. But when you look at the two stars for this team, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, what I can't escape is that as great as Russell Westbrook has looked, he is still shooting 23% from three-point range in a system coached by Mike D'Antoni. What should we think of them in that regard?
Well, a high-volume team that has a lot of possessions. And what happens in the playoffs if you can't increase the amount of possessions? Half-court game still favors the likes of the Lakers and the Clippers, easily. It's not even a question.
Stay right there. Don't go anywhere. Because with the trade deadline less than 24 hours away, we bring in our very own Adrian Wojnarowski. Woj, let's get right into it. A couple of trade tidbits here, potential trade tidbits anyway. Andre Iguodala hasn't played for the Grizzlies all year long as they try to trade him. What are you hearing about discussions involving him?
Well, Memphis is still determined to find a deal before that 3 p.m. trade deadline tomorrow, Stephen A. They want to get an asset back for Andre Iguodala. They have made it clear to him and his camp that they have no plans to do a contract buyout and let him walk to either the Lakers or the Clippers, the two teams that he had preferred to go to at some point this season. One team that you've got to continue to keep your eye on with Iguodala between now and 3 p.m. tomorrow, the Miami Heat.
Let's transition to D'Angelo Russell because he's making some news. He's formerly of the Brooklyn Nets. He's been with the Golden State Warriors this year. We all understand that. He's been the subject of trade. He's commented about knowing this is a business and whatever happens, happens. He's been very, very nonchalant in that regard, but he's still a prominent name. What's the market like for him at this particular moment in time? What can you tell us?
Well, talks with Minnesota broke off last night with Golden State on D'Angelo Russell. They could revisit those. They gained a first-round pick, maybe the best first-round pick in this marketplace, that Brooklyn pick that Atlanta had. Now Minnesota has that in their arsenal. The Knicks have continued to show some interest in trying to do a D'Angelo Russell deal, but I'm told Golden State hasn't seen anything in those conversations that would lead them to believe there was any traction for a deal. They may very well go into the offseason with Russell still under contract there.
Two things, Woj. First of all, I love the tie. It looks good on you.
Thanks, Steve.
Number two, we'll be back to talk about you because I got some more questions. We'll be back to you in just a few minutes. I got to get right back here to Jay Williams, but because outside of the trade deadline, one of the biggest stories on the floor has been the continued struggles of the Philadelphia 76ers. They've lost their last 3 games, all by double digits, and are currently 6th in the Eastern Conference. Today, Mr. Joel Embiid was asked if the Sixers have an identity offensively.
No, we don't. Spacing is an issue. We sometimes we play fast, sometimes we play slow. Some nights we could be a little bit more focused, especially on the ball. We gotta be, like everybody always say, some type of dogs. We just gotta want it. We just gotta play hard. And
does anybody need to stand up and call somebody out?
Yeah, I mean, there's some stuff going on in our locker room, and we'll keep that internal.
It's no longer internal,
It's no longer internal, not at all. Jay Williams returns with us. Jay, before I ask you this question, let me give you a tidbit of information. I was told that after the Philadelphia 76ers got blitzed by the Miami Heat in Miami the other night by 31 points, the team actually stayed in Miami. I would like to know your thoughts about the 76ers right now, what you're seeing from them on the basketball floor. Where do you think they're going?
I've seen so many games that say where I've seen Brett Brown try to hold the attention of individuals. I've seen guys wave him off. I've seen guys roll their eyes. It doesn't seem like he holds their attention anymore. And Joel Embiid flat out said it. It's spacing. That's their issue. Some of the pieces that Elton Brand has put around him don't work. With Al Horford, with Ben Simmons, and they don't have a leader. They don't have a dog, somebody who's willing to get in somebody's face. That player is playing in Miami.
Quick answer. One of the players got to go or Brett Brown?
Brett Brown first.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.